So I remember reading this article about how these foxes had evolved over generations to be cuter. And it was because humans like cuter and fluffier, and that's what they evolved to be more for harmony with us. So I was thinking about what makes something cute and why is it cute to us, and like what does that mean? So as I thought more about that, your body will shape to whatever you love. You could love sitting on the couch and eating sweets. Your body will shape to that, right? It's because that's what you're drawn to. So your body will complement that. And if you love, going jogging, your body will evolve to that, right? Because you're building muscles and developing a routine, and you're just evolving yourself, right? But being happy is almost kind of, well, not happy per se, but you achieve enlightenment, which frees you and you feel more authentic happiness, right? Not everything is so heavy. It's kind of beautiful out there, right? And so I was thinking about does a person evolve to look cuter if they find enlightenment? Because, have we evolved to look haggard? Because we hold tension when we're upset or angry or trauma or whatever, right? So our face shapes a certain way. We hold the tension. I heard a thing one time about there's a look to sexual offenders to some capacity. Their face is shaped a certain way. Now that's being pretty generic, but if you put them all in like a picture, they all kind of have similar facial features. So are they holding that stress in a certain capacity? I mean, you can almost tell when a person is doing a certain type of drug based on their skin, right, or their weight. You can tell how stressed a person is based on how skinny or how fat they are, because coping mechanisms, right, they alter our body. But we hold stress in certain areas. If you have childhood trauma, maybe you have stress in your back, you're holding on to it, it's knotted. Maybe it's something connected to that. I don't know. But, does that evolve us to look a certain way? Because I was also thinking about the study of tigers. There was a mountain or something that split a species of tigers and they became different breeds, right? They just evolved to their land. So that they were better adapted. There's different breeds of birds, different species. Humans are that way, yeah. We look like different breeds. Just, think of dogs. There's different breeds of dogs, different breeds of cats, different breeds of iguanas, right? Maybe. Right? How much do we know? How much is misinformation that we've learned? Have we dug deep for any clarification on things? Have we researched anything? So I had a theory that I would be cuter and healthier if I was happier. That was just a theory. Strange theory, right? But whatever. Hey, I'll try it. I appear cuter to some people. I'm not everyone's type, right? But I've also learned how to be kind of a charmer. I want to be friends with all the humans too. So if an animal species could evolve to be cuter, could a human? Over generations? What? I don't know. But like, how do we know what's healthy for our bodies, right? That's always the big question I've been asking myself. Like, if you have information, please share. Please, 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 please. Now, these are just thoughts I have, right? There's Google. You can look up stuff. Ask around, right? But, like, people are different skin colors because of their environment, of where they originated from. And we have travel now and interbreeding of different breeds of people, you know. And what's interesting about that is we're strengthening our blood. You know, we're different tribes, right? Diversifying the genetic pool, which means people can like think differently and act differently and have more diversity and culture. Oh, so good. And we could work together and share our strengths. So like stereotypes. Oh, let's go into stereotypes. Okay. I love stereotypes because you can use them as a positive. Bear with me. So, you know, Asians good at math. Well, I've met a few, so it was easier for me to find. And the way of thinking, how their culture taught them how to think. You know, it's just like, this is a strength that we got really good at because we became like the pros at it. But we just happened to evolve to look like this. Like that's what needed to happen. Like that kind of thought process maybe. I don't know. But like what we eat shapes us too. Evolution is a fascinating thing. I've been collecting feathers all over the US. Like I'm obsessed with it now. I kind of want to make an Indian headdress. I'm half native. I've always wanted one. Yeah, a little less than half native, but it's cool. Chippewa or Ojibwa. Yeah. So it's interesting too, though, because we're attracted to opposites. Black, white, just complementary colors. The color wheel, there's a variety, but there's always an opposite. We're lured to it. It's beautiful. So, yeah, why would we deny ourselves what we want when it's probably genetically better that we indulge? But societally, we've made a big fucking deal about mixed breeding. But we do it with dogs all the time. We've been breeding dogs to look exactly like what we want. And we see that there's problems with that. They're like, don't breed this animal too much with its own kind or with its immediate family or it's gonna have birth defects. Look into dog breeding. That's what humans are doing. It's really easy to transfer that, like, visual over. Yeah. So, like, okay. All lives matter, yeah. But, like, why are we not acting like it? There's a lack of consent. Oh, consent culture. It does not exist because we had slavery, right? We didn't want to pay for work to be done, we want other people to do it for us because it frees up bandwidth. We love that. We can think more if we don't have to do all these other needs. Even though it's more fulfilling to do it yourself. Or it can be if you let it. Sometimes you gotta adjust your mindset a little. I was cutting my fingernails and I was like, this is taking too long. And I was like, no, I should be thinking about this, like, how can I make this more fun? I was like, okay, well, I get to file them next, you know, like, I get to groom myself, you know. I don't know. I mean, animals groom themselves. We are just animals. Learning about animals is fascinating. I've always loved animals. I even wanted to be a tiger trainer when I was a senior. I had a project, I had to do it. They're like, pick any occupation you want to be. And I was like, and I was like, I want to be a tiger trainer. And so like I got mentor hours. I wrote a paper about endangered species. It was fun. It was fun. I loved it. I got to pet a tiger. That was like my life goal. When I was a little girl, I was at the show and like the guy on stage had a tiger with him and he's like, who wants to pet a tiger? I was like, me. Right? Okay. The next thing he said, he's like, well, then you'd be dead because this is a wild animal. It'll kill you. It wants to eat you or whatever. I was like, fuck. You know, but I'm like 5. Okay. But that's when your neuroplasticity is the most like, you know, you retain so much more. So, yeah. And then I ended up, at that moment, I was like, I want to pet a tiger. So I made it happen. It's one thing in my life that was so much fun and enjoyable, and I just, I always wanted to be special. But I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I knew nothing of the world, nothing. Internet came late, cell phones wasn't a thing until much later. Razors were out of fashion by the time I got a cell phone, right? I'm not evolving with technology. I started late into the game. I'm still late to the game. You know, tech is so far ahead, but it takes a lot to learn it. But man, is it so cool when you do. You can use it as a tool. It's a beautiful tool. I've transformed my life with technology. It's fulfilling. My life is fulfilling. This room is also cold. I'm in a crop top. Oof. Oh, here's a sweater. But anyway, okay. So, crop top and sweater. But like, we don't evolve other concepts either. There's so many books, guys. We've evolved so much. We know so much. We have brilliant people who exist in this world. Really talented people too. So many like writers and movie makers. Oh, you guys are so smart. Like, just translate. It's a very thin veil, guys. Just watch a movie. That reality could exist just with a different filter, right? Change the filter, that movie exists. You can step into that reality. It might not have been this time, you know, but maybe even in the future, these things are realistic. And us as animals, we can kind of see into the future somewhat. We can, what would that look like? Vision, that's what they call it. I have a 30-year vision. It's so complicated. People keep like, what's your 30-year vision? Oh, man. Okay. Not gonna get into that. So, but it does involve the evolution of the human species. We have a chance to evolve alongside technology in a way that could really make life so much easier and free up so much bandwidth so that we can just spend more time looking around and enjoying it. Think of a horse, right? It used to pull carriages for us humans, right? that was our tool. It was a horse, right? And we loved our horses so much that, you know, what other use could this horse have? Anyway, so, well, the reality is this horse can have many lives. It could run free in the wild, right? Is that a happy horse? Is a happy horse a stabled horse that has someone ride it and love it all the time? You know, is the horse bought and sold and turned into tiger meat? True fucking story. They kill horses. Traumatizing stuff, guys. A little bit, yeah. But they put like, charcoal on it so that humans don't eat it. Humans eat horses too, yeah. That's so strange to me. Do you know why we eat chickens? It was an accidental order. Like, some lady accidentally had too many zeros on her order and, like, was like, fuck it, I'll run with it. I'll evolve this idea. And, like, now we have mass-produced chickens that used to be super skinny. The shape of chickens has evolved. We've changed the shape of chickens to what we want it to be. Okay? What if a chicken was like, nah, I choose a different path. I don't want to be feed. I want to fly free in the plains or on the streets, just run around. I've seen chickens walk around Portland. That's cool. Wild peacocks exist. Isn't that a pretty place to find them? Just randomly in the wild. I found one. I was looking around for feathers. I couldn't find any. I collect ethical feathers. I got kind of close to it though. I got some pictures. Traveling's so much fun. I love feeding animals. Crows and ravens love walnuts. So I carry some walnuts with me. I might be out right now, but I love having walnuts. I fed a raven with my hand. It was flying and I recorded it. I'd have to find that video. It does exist. Cool thing is I have like documentation of a lot of this shit. I just haven't shared it with anybody. Anyways, I want to be a proof of concept. What's proof of concept? Well, it's when you have an idea and you test it and it works and people can see it and they can feel it, touch it, it's real. Everything's a learnable skill. Everything I am, I evolved by learning. You can teach an animal tricks with, you know, treats and affection. We evolve our pets with us. Animals can communicate with us. You know the sound of a cat about to vomit. Like, so, like, listen to the signals. They're all around us. Ugh, love it. Signals. Oh, signals are so fun. We send signals all the time. They're very subliminal. Colors are subliminal, like images, sounds. What did you hear, see, taste, feel, blah, blah, blah as a baby? You probably like those things still. Maybe. Maybe not. It encodes in your brain. It's all there at the root cause, or the root source. Our environments evolve us. I've been evolved. I grew up in the middle of nowhere. K through 8 was 63 students. And that's crazy to me. That's small, right? I go to these big cities and they're like, whoa. You go to small towns, they're like, yeah, I'm around that. Like, but it was such a small town. My grandparents were my neighbors. They're Native American. Like my grandpa's like 100% practically. If not, I don't know. But like he wanted my mom, or he wanted my dad to marry a native, and you know, like to keep it in the blood or something. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm native, right? And so like the idea is that they're actually kind of happy the natives keep breeding. I think there was a lot of miscommunication back in the day. We didn't speak the same language, guys. We didn't. One thing meant something else, and guess what? It's still that way. We're speaking different languages all the time. Pop culture references, right? You might just be quoting a bunch of stuff in your everyday speech, and maybe someone else doesn't understand the references. Tell them you're referring to something instead of like, you know, you're trying to convey a concept and they don't get the like reference. Define it, or at least like, by the way, that was a reference from this, because they'll be like, huh? Movies, movie quotes, muggle. Not everyone's seen these things, right? So make sure that they have, you know, once in a while. But these are signals we send out to the world. If you speak the same language, you can convey whole concepts by words. So, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, if you've seen that. The dad had to have like a translator put on him for these fishing metaphors to be translated to something that his son could understand, right? That's how we are, guys. We don't make sense. And when we try to explain ourselves, we're not speaking their language. We have love languages, right? Oh, the 5 love languages. I once gave like a little class in front of, it was called Sunday Assembly, about the 5 love languages. I was so nervous, but I was like, I can speak in front of people and have a slideshow, but they like cut slideshows, or like cut some of them out because I had a lot of slides, but I was like, went through them. And so like I was trying to like panically see how much I had memorized. That was terrifying. But I also had a ponytail, and I kept looking back at the screen for my notes, and like it kept slapping me in the face. Anyway, yeah, and the guy before me was talking about dirt, okay, and he was talking about like burning my paper, and I was like, because my notes were on there, and he was using it for his demonstration. I was like, please don't burn it. Those are my notes. Don't worry, he didn't, but still, I was panicked. It's like church for the non-believers. It's the same gathering. They're in multiple cities. Sunday Assembly, look it up. It's cool. Yeah, because that kind of community is necessary. And I'm sure you can set up your own chapter, right? It doesn't matter where you started. But anyway, yeah. This is my old kitty. His name is Odin. I am spending time with him and, you know, John. Yeah, so where was I? Evolution of humans. I don't know if you guys have actually done any research into this, have you? Like, do you not see that even television has evolved? What's the oldest film you've ever seen? Okay, ugh. Or watch people watching stuff that's outside their generation. You'll notice that there's discrepancies, right? Pay attention to them. Notice these and make sure you speak their language. Yeah. My hands are so cold. I feel like I'm shaking the camera. Sorry if I am. Yeah. He headbutts when he wants attention. Yeah, he's cute. But yeah, I've loved animals since I was so young. I would stand underneath a bird feeder with seeds in my hand, and like little chickadees would land on my little tiny fingers, and I'd be so excited. I love interacting with nature, wild animals, all the time. Because I don't have my own pet, so I love on all of the other pets to get that fulfillment, you know. I don't sit still because I'm fully nomadic, right? So I just love on everybody I see so that I can get that fulfillment. But it's adding value, you know? Add as much value as you possibly can to other people. Why not? Fuck, like, it doesn't cost anything, guys. And it's fulfilling. Let's see, what's his face? He was in Shallow Hal. He was Banana Fingers or whatever. Anyway, him, that guy. He, like, it was like gratitude is the greatest gift. It's the most rewarding. He was like down to his last buck, and this little kid wanted to buy his mom something, and he was like, here's my last of my money. And like, but that was like the last of his money, but he was like, no, for this kid I'll do it. And it just felt so good, right? Guys, do it. It feels good for you and for them. I carry stuff to give away all the time. Sometimes I love what I give away, like a lot, but you know, things filter through my hands. I can manifest. I trust in my ability. I just want the world to be a better place. Yeah, I'd like the world to be a better place. I think people need to learn psychology and neurology so bad, guys. That's where all of the answers are. And also get cognitive behavioral therapy. Always, always, always. Yeah. Anyways, I've been working with the Yang Gang Roundtable podcast. How fucking fun is that? Okay, so. Okay. I'm working with literal geniuses and like people wanting to change this country behind the scenes where it actually like is a functional level. And that's like getting mentorship too, and like asking questions to learn so we could like help other people learn and like understand the world in such a way. Like I give classes sometimes, just random things that I've learned about the world and how your brain works, and it's just so insightful, and people haven't even taken the time to learn these things sometimes, and I just fucking love it, right? And like we're getting real politicians in there, we're getting other like YouTubers, we're getting everyday people, yeah, everybody, the whole spectrum on the show. And I can't tell you how excited I am to be on the show. My team is so incredible. I found my family. Oh my God, they are my family. I love them so much. It took forever to find the perfect like mixture of team, you know, like, and we're only growing. We get special guests on, and like we think large, like we shoot for the stars. Let's get Hayao Miyazaki and John Lasseter, or Joe Rogan, or Oprah. We just throw out all the names, right? People, Robert Greene wrote Mastery. Oh my God, these people. I'm like, can I just make requests and see if it's possible? And then like we do it, and then the next thing you know, we got a form for Joe Rogan to fill out. It's like, holy shit, it's that easy? Yeah, I don't even think, like, I don't know where to look. Oh, I have a meeting with somebody to learn how to, like, do that. And they're on my team, and they're so incredible. Oh my God, Jeremy is incredible. I'm just blown away with my team. Like, we're pretty smart. We're fucking, like, we're a think tank, guys, and in all the best ways that you've been hoping for. Like, you dream of, like, God, what if these people existed and they all met and talked and figured out the problems, and the right people were talking to the right people and blah, blah, blah. Dude, these teams exist. It's, I'm just, and, okay, it gets better. Okay. So there's this guy, Leo Gura. Oh, I'm so excited. Can you tell? Okay. Leo Gura came up with this fucking long, stupid long 12-hour course on conscious politics. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love it. Okay. I'm just like, it feels like homework, but I'm like excited because it's like my quest. And then anyway, getting ahead of myself. So, yeah. Okay. He has a list of a bunch of policies, and I'm like listening to it and like filtering everything I've ever fucking researched. I've had conversations and I have absorbed as much of the world as I can. I'm still going. Yeah. Oh, I just feel so powerful. But all for me, you know, just like I love myself so much. If it's only because I love giving. It's just anyway. So he wrote all these policies out, right? And then I'm like, okay. So we got this other guy, Angelo. He's a fucking literal genius. Like 1% of IQ, like people, like genius. Okay. And I was like, hey, let's work on this list. I'm like, yeah. And we were working through it, and dude. Okay, but I first filtered, I sorted it with my book editor guy. Like, I've never written a book, but like he helps me workshop stuff. He's like my secret weapon, Joe. Oh, I love Joe. I love Joe so much. He's such a cool guy. Yet I've only seen a picture of him. And heard his voice. That's okay. He's got agoraphobia. I respect his boundaries. That's fine. He's such a sweet guy. Anyway, yeah. And so I'm sitting through and I'm working through these things, and I'm like, okay. And then I got this other think tank over here helping me like put these things together. And then I like looked up the hero's journey. If you don't know the hero's journey, fucking look at it. Everyone can activate on the hero's journey. And in fact, we are all on the hero's journey. It's how our brain wires, right? And it's life cycle, and it's just growth and working up Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Man, if you haven't researched any of the stuff, like all the answers. Also, The War on Normal People has a lot of answers. Shit. By Andrew Yang. Visionary. Fucking, I just followed that motherfucker around the country. I'm like, this guy knows it. He knows it, right? And he's such a real person. He's like, I don't know where I heard this, but like, wrestling, right? We understand it's fake, but we watch it anyway. And we've even admitted it's fake. And we watch it and we love it. Yeah, that's politics, guys. We're watching wrestling. Can we just like acknowledge it's fake and like get to the real work? This is a popularity contest. Wake up. Andrew Yang had the truth, guys. Look around. Technology is here, and it's beautiful because it frees up people to do things they love. Like go fully nomadic around the country and become a proof of concept that shit's like really cool. We as a world globally right now are having a collective defining moment so big that it's gone across the whole world, right? And then, oh man. And then, what happens after a defining moment? You either rise up and activate. It's part of the hero's journey. It's death and rebirth. It's that recognition of, I can no longer continue on this path. And then we talk about PTSD, but we don't talk about post-traumatic growth. That is when you use that defining moment, that intense emotional moment in your life, and you're like, fuck this. I'm going to do better. I'm going to change my life. Post-traumatic growth. The hero's journey is the path to post-traumatic growth. That's it. That's the answer, guys. That's the answer. It's the hero's journey. Isn't it? Gamify it. The world can be gamified. We're in a game, guys. Like any game that exists, you could technically step into that reality. Just filters. strategy that you use in games can be used in real life. Just evolve the concept, translate the words, also define words to people. Not everyone agrees on the definition of socialism or capitalism. Define it for somebody else. They don't know what you mean. What is the criteria? Criteria! Now that's a word. Ugh. More soda. I'm so cold. Blanket. The window's not even open. Okay. So, maybe it's because I'm excited. What is the criteria to being healthy? What does that mean? What's the criteria for your physical health to be happy? What is the criteria for you to be in a safe space? What is the criteria for you to be like happy with your tribe? What is the criteria for you to be happy with your family? What's the criteria for you to be happy with your I have these all, I call it my star theory, but it's so complicated. I got to the point for the most part. The thing is, we don't know the definition of the criteria. We've never found a baseline in our life, right? But yeah, criteria. What's the criteria for a ethical, happy, healthy workspace? What's the criteria for a happy, healthy home space? What is the criteria for loving yourself? What's the criteria for you to accept others as they are? You know, what's the criteria for a healthy present moment in time, in life, in our environment? What is the criteria for a happy, healthy future? Do we know what that even looks like? Do we have that vision? That's the vision we should all be working towards, guys. All of this. We need to define our criteria collectively as a whole species. Let's fucking do it. Humans, like, what's the criteria for being happy, healthy? What's the scorecard, guys? What's the American scorecard? I don't know. We need to change our metrics so bad. Okay. Because what we have now doesn't work, but we have different generations we must translate the message for. So we have to present it to them, but that means bringing back old technologies and including other people. But that means also talking to our neighboring countries. Do we, like Americans, I'm sorry, we don't talk to other countries sometimes. Not on a personal level. Do we only expect our representatives to talk internationally? Why don't we? We have the internet. Guys, make friends with other countries. I did by doing a puppet show called Highly Inappropriate Puppets. It's so fun. I have a friend in Canada. Okay. I mean, I have more friends than that from the show, but like there was people from Australia and other parts of the country or world. Like, what? What? This is international? Yes. Zoom calls, just, ugh. I enjoy it. It's very therapeutic, but like, I don't have a lot of people joining right now, which is okay. Honestly. I might even do it singularly with other people. I mean, I'd be bummed, don't get me wrong. I'd be like, nobody wants to play with a puppet? Times are hard. Let's laugh. Let's play. Our souls want to play, guys. Ugh, so randomly. Criteria for health. Yet, you know, we don't know the criteria. So then we're like, oh, so eyeballs, eye insurance, dental insurance is not criteria for a happy, healthy human? What's the proper care and feeding of humans, guys? We found all these things for love and health. Have we ever, like, really thought about it? What are we measuring? Is what we're eating toxic and drinking toxic? It's so much to think about. We should just all figure it out, create a framework together collectively, and then work that way. Change the trajectory of our society, our world. We're just ants. Look at ants and the way that, like, they colonize and intermingle with other ants. Dude, ants are so cool, but we are ants too. We're other species too. We got different parts of animal brains in us as we evolved, right? We got the monkey, the lizard, and the rat brain. Oof, no. Anyway, lineage of the human species in the brain. Like, we got different animals in there. So have we looked up what those animals do and their behaviors and the way they navigate the world instinctually? Why don't we follow and mimic and practice and see if they align with our behaviors? Have we mirrored an animal and didn't know it? Like, monkey see, monkey do, guys. You know what that means, right? That means we mirror neurons, which are real things in your brain. Guys, pay attention. This shit happens. Like, I love humans. I know so many of you guys. Like, personally, I've had real experiences and memories. You know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, I still might have popped up in a memory at some point. I'm obnoxious as shit. People see me and notice me. People all the time are like, you look familiar. I'm like, ugh, I don't even want to know how you know me. I'm obnoxious. People remember you if you're obnoxious. But, like, be a fun obnoxious. Learn the definition, and not everyone has the same definition. Ask consent to be that way if you must. If they start giving you looks. Body language should be a class in schools. People should be able to learn other people's body language. But guess what? Everything's a learnable skill. And the internet, YouTube, Google, and other search engines, guess what? They're tools for us to learn these things. It's education free because we have flooded the market of information and we have been getting better and better at educating each other and really working hard. YouTube is a miracle. Thank you. I mean, people use it for other things too, like cute little cats. Trust me, I share lots of cute animal videos because I love animals. Imagine if your face changed based on just like how much you smile. I mean, maybe it does, right? I do not know the proper care and feeding of me though. I've been trying to learn, right? My parents, they didn't have the internet. They didn't search these things and have lots of people like educate themselves on this. We were given false advertisements, right? What's toxic and what's healthy? Like, humans are lactose intolerant, guys. We should be weaning off of milk. We are the only species who still drinks milk after we've been weaned from our parents. And we don't even drink from the same species, guys. Other animals don't do that. I mean, some. Maybe? Cats. But they're lactose intolerant too. They just like the taste. Right? Cats also get motion sickness easier. Cat behavior, animal behavior, like learn it and try to think how it relates to human behavior. Watch an animal have, I like the word familiar. It's like a term of like I have a pet that is like my close bonded friend. I want all the animals to be my familiars. Yeah. I love humans. All of them. And we operate in a way where we can change our neurology to just, I mean, some people have a lot of work to go because they've been bred a certain way as species and cultural, like, it's just natural. That's fine. We've adapted. We're learning. I don't know. It's just crazy. I don't know, this whole thing. It's crazy. Oh, and the way we judge other people. Why? Are you jealous? Like, is it scary to, like, step into their shoes? I know you want to be like them. No, I don't know that. Envy makes people do terrible things. Ugh. Learn to love yourself as you are. Right? Accept it. And or learn stuff. Build technology to make that happen. Or be innovative if you can. There's a phrase, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. It's sweeter. It's more effective. It's gentle. We need to be gentle on ourselves and look at ourselves with gentle curiosity of our past. That was said to me, and that really changed my life. Another time was when somebody told me, we have yeast in our lives, but we are bread, right? You cannot have bread without yeast, and you cannot have a sandwich without yeast. Yeast is our past. It's that gross stuff we don't like. But it's necessary for us to grow, okay? So accept it and make a sandwich already. So much of what I'm saying is what I found online. I just decided to regurgitate it with words. We have copyright laws that make it really difficult for us to regurgitate anything and evolve it. Because of greed, we must have money for these things. Ugh, guys. Sharing is caring. Did we learn how to share as a kid? Maybe. We don't share humans very well. Why? Sharing is the best experience. You have the most fulfilling times, and you find that it's okay to share. People have to share me because I'm polyamorous. They don't like it, but they accept it and they understand it. But I think it's made them evolve, and maybe they make someone want to evolve too. You have to be authentically yourself, or you won't attract the right thing. If you have a garden, you plant plants, they lure animals to them. You have a beautiful garden full of things where you can eat, it nourishes you. You also have plants that bring animals, that bring you joy or pollinate or whatever. Do you like hummingbirds? What do you plant? We don't put ourselves in environments that we actually want to be in, but we make it too expensive to be in there. Evolve, guys. Evolve the ideas. We're humans. We have this capability. Doesn't even take that much time. Is it still serving you? Does this bring you joy? These are just messages from the universe. They're not my words, right? I've just put them together in a way that sounds magical. Because it's supposed to help you understand. Awareness alone is curative. I have so much to say. I have so much knowledge. And it's scary. I'm like, I need this knowledge to reach the world in as many formats of media as possible. But it has to be summarized. The internet needs to be summarized. It's too much, right? The market's flooded. The gems need to stand out. We can shift them to the top. We can do that. We have. What's the top 100 websites? Gems. Evolve them together. That is the core of your machine. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just put the machine together so you have a working vehicle. People don't understand the machine, so we teach them, but we need to make it easier. It takes too much bandwidth, right? Grandma doesn't know how to do that. Simplify it. Speak in her terms. Compare it to something, a movie, right? Walk them through it. Make a movie for them, but get them emotionally attached to it. Hook it to things that recall for them. That, you know, that's what nostalgia is. My game's the quest for synthecopia. It's to submerge yourself in an environment full of signals that help bring you authentic happiness in each and every moment of your life. What do you want to see? What do you want to smell? What do you want to taste? What do you want to hear? Do you want to hear laughter? Do you want to hear birds every day? What is good? What is healthy? What makes you happy? Have you ever asked yourself? Do you love yourself authentically? Do you have a voice in your head that makes you feel bad about who you are? Is it a ghost? Can you tell that ghost to fuck you? Jesus, 50 minutes already. Choose a new name for yourself. Evolve. Become someone different. You don't have to be that child crying in the back room because your parents are fighting. And when they yell at you and get you in trouble, you don't have to be that name. That name does not bring you joy. Find a name that brings you joy. My name's Sarah, but I love the name Faye, right? Call me by the name that brings me joy. I share with you my origin because I care. And I want you to know I'm not trying to hide stuff, but, you know, sometimes that's a thing for people. And people like calling people by their original name. Do you need to let that bother you? Or is that just a waste of mental bandwidth that could be used elsewhere? Is it worth it? If people knew me before I changed my name to Faye, I let it slide because they've been using it. It's been carved in their brain and their neural pathway, right? I forgive them. I don't like it, but I forgive them. But, you know, it's not worth worrying about. My name is Faye, though, and that's the name that brings me joy. And I have evolved to a different person. I heard someone call it the awakening name. I mean, are you having a defining moment? Do you need your awakening? Face your fears. My favorite phrases that I live by. All fear is imaginary. And by that, I mean perception. It is just a perception of reality. Safety is an illusion, right? You could be surrounded by bodyguards, but die of a heart attack. Caution is mandatory. Don't just put your hand on the hot pot. What precautionary measures should you take before taking action? Just take a second to think. What's inevitable? Find your inevitable needs. Let's make those priority and make sure they don't require so much money, guys. Lay off the greed. Let it go. Too many people need you to let it go. Ego is selfishness. Let your ego die so you can be reborn already. Enter the next phase of your hero's journey. We are all in the same plot line, guys. You already know it. You've been typing it in memes. We're in a story, right? What story do you want to be in? Write that one. If you died tomorrow, would you be happy with your life? do the thing you've always wanted to do. It could be your last day. Realistically, guys. We're facing that as a reality, as a whole planet. We always have been, but it's just a lot more in our face now. I also have a hair in my eye. I played with my puppet on the beach yesterday. I looked like a fucking moron, but I was doing a video chat with another puppet. It was fun. It was so much fun. Our souls just want to play, guys. Aren't you tired of not being a kid again? Who knows how long you have left? But try to have a vision so that this time you too will pass, or whatever that phrase is. This too shall pass. That one. All right, it has nearly been an hour, so I will bid you adieu, and, you know, until next we meet, right? That's my favorite goodbye. It'd be really cool if you liked this video, you shared it, you subscribe. I get distracted. I do a lot, but, you know, I will try to upload things on occasion. So thank you for watching, and I appreciate you. I love you. I care about you. You all deserve universal basic income. It's $1,000 a month, maybe $2,000 a month if we pull it off. The presidential election's coming. The pressure's coming, guys. We need 2/3 of America to agree on something. Just 2/3. Can we do it? Can you help make that number happen? It'll bypass Congress and the president. 2/3. Get UBI passed. We'll figure it out, right? We've kind of already did it. We have the framework. And we'll figure out what else needs to happen. Like the stimulus check was the framework. We're working out the bugs right now, but we can make this a monthly thing for the rest of your life. Imagine that. What you could do with that every month. Your dreams could finally come true. And if you don't, that's fine too. Maybe that's what your existence needed to be. But imagine if the whole planet had a basic income. Let's fucking at least do the scientific method on it. Just try it out for like 10 years, and then we'll pull the plug if this like statistics say like we shouldn't do it. Just fucking try it. What do we have to lose at this point, guys? The world's ending. We were given a script, but this is not the only script. It's not the only template to life. Choose your own template. Choose a better template. Customize it, guys. Anyways, till next we meet.